Hello, chat. I think we're live. Um, Usually I have Llama Villager in my chat, but he is not going to be here today. So looks like I'm just going to be streaming to an empty chat. I hope everyone's doing good. This is going to be turned into a video eventually, either by me or by someone else who I've talked to today. Actually, I talked to them today. Um, yeah, I'm in the works of finding of not finding. I already found him, but you know, an editor for, clipping stream highlights essentially. Yeah, I let me give you a bit of a rundown about my day. I know I didn't stream yesterday. I'm live today, obviously. Yesterday I worked from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. and then immediately after that I went to my friend's graduation. I had a great time, right? And then after their graduation, high school graduation, I graduated 2 years early, so I would be graduating with them, but um, that's not how things happened. But I'm still happy for them. I'm still happy for that they, graduated and finished high school. So I went to go say hi and then like show my support, I guess. And then after that, we went to eat, and it was a great meal. I had a great time, and then today I had to get up super early at 6 a.m. Go to work. I was there until 4 p.m. again, so 9 hour shift. It's good money. I'm not complaining, and I had a good time today, but it's tiring. And then I came home, hit legs. I had to hit legs because I actually legit have not hit legs in months, not properly. Right, I've only done like leg press at the gym, but that's it. I haven't done any like literally on leg day. I would do leg press and then cable crunches for my abs, right? But not, today I did Bulgarian split squats, Romanian deadlifts, and some like deadlifts with dumbbells in each hand. Yeah, it was pretty good. But yeah, and then I ate a big bowl of just chicken, straight up chicken and peanuts, and then a big tub of like lettuce salad, right? Which neither of them both of them are healthy food, but it was a lot of each one, right? So there's a lot of calories in that. Tomorrow morning, I plan on skipping breakfast, going straight to church, and then after that, I'm gonna come home, eat lunch, go to the gym with my friend who graduated yesterday, and then come home and stream again. So does that explain why I haven't been live in a while? I've been a bit busy. And I could very easily not go live right now, but since I don't have to be at church until 9:15 tomorrow, I said, you know what, man, let's just do it. So, today we're going to be doing our first stream about drumroll, please, cinematography, cinema. Um, this is this is the topic that I'm probably the most interested in. If you know me personally, which most people watching this video probably do, you will know that I am going to film school in a few months. This next coming school year, I'm starting some of my college classes related to film and cinematography. So but I'm not an expert at all, which I'm going to explain in these slides. But yeah, let me get this out of the way. All right, let's get going, man. Yeah. So sorry, this is episode one, obviously, of our cinema like series, right? Um, yeah. So episode one, what is cinematography? So what is cinematography? The definition of cinematography is the art of visual storytelling. Its main pillars are cinema work. Or sorry, I'm so tired. I've been up since 6 this morning. Its main pillars are camera work, lighting, composition, movement, and color. cinematography is a fundamental aspect of filmmaking and video production. So this is what, and leave a comment if you think that this, what size do you think I should have the face cam? I don't know. I think smaller is better, but yeah. What's I about to say? Yeah, this is what I am most interested in for sure. This translates really well to YouTube, obviously, because YouTube is video making, but this is a bit deeper. This goes into like actual like movies, right? But also it translates very well to YouTube, you know, camera work, lighting composition, movement, and color. These are things that, yeah, if you learn how to utilize these in a YouTube, you can make a 10 out of 10 YouTube video, right? And you'll just be ahead of the curve compared to most YouTubers. Hold on one second. Me, yeah, it looks way better. It looks way better. Okay, because I'm like, yeah, but yeah, that just it's and obviously I was at the far left of my screen this for most of this entire time. I've got a lot to learn. I've got a lot to learn. I'm really excited for film school because of this, but also I'm going to be learning through these streams that I'm doing, and yeah, I'm going to be learning as much as possible. This is a bit of a spoiler, but if you come back here and look at um, episode 2, the filmmaking masterclass, I found a um, I think it's over 2 hours long. Hold on. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 50-minute long masterclass, which we are going to react to. Granted, this sole like informational content, tutorial type content is not. It's going to be a bit hard to react to, I'm guessing, because there's not much to add to it. Well, what am I going to tell him he's wrong? You know what I mean? But um, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that, I guess, with you guys, and yeah, it's going to be a great time. But this is the video I have planned today. Okay, so this is a preface. The preface is I'm not a professional cinematographer, and I don't consider myself a movie guy. That being said, this is my passion, and I have added a cinema segment to Deported Archives because I want to learn more about filmmaking. I know people who are more knowledgeable than me about this subject, and I would love to have on this show on a somewhat consistent basis. That being said, I have to do the first few episodes alone, so please bear with me. Yeah, I have one particular friend. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to pressure him into doing this. I don't want him to do this with me unless I don't want him to do these episodes with me unless he really wants to. But he's a good friend of mine. He, how do I say this without? Yeah, he's a really good friend of mine. We grew up together, and we were both really deep into movies, and we both wanted to be filmmakers since we were both kids. I sort of strayed away from it a little bit when I was in high school and the past few years, but I'm getting kind of back into it now, and I have decided to major in filmmaking for my bachelor's. So I am looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm gonna message him. I wanted to do the first episode on my own, just to sort of like dip my foot in this because I really hate when I can't do something when I'm holding up on other people. But yeah, one friend in particular, he's a movie guy, right? He he might or might not be. I'm sure he is because he's actually taking film classes. He's taken film classes before because he goes to school in a different country that offers these things. I was never given an opportunity to have a film class in high school, right? He was. So, and I am kind of jealous. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of jealous of that. But he's also a movie guy. I wouldn't consider myself a movie guy, right? Now, if you watch my Avatar stream, you could tell, yeah, I've seen Avatar several times, right? I've seen many shows several times, but most of that happened like before the age of 13. Like before the age of 14, I should say. I watched all the shows that I'm really like, that I really love. Shows, movies, all of them. I haven't become a diehard fan of something since since before I was 14 years old, right? And I don't keep up with Marvel anymore. Like he's really into Marvel and Star Wars. Okay, and I used to be sort of into those, but now, I mean, I'll watch a new Marvel movie. I'm excited for the new Spider-Man movie, but um, I'm not. I'm not. But yeah, he's a movie guy. He knows every line to every new Marvel movie, and hey, good for him. I'm not judging. That's a good thing, right? Especially for filmmaking, it's good to know your other pieces of art. I'm just saying, like, that's not me, right? Um, Now, I can geek out about a few movies. I can geek out about Kung Fu Panda. I want to do an episode. It'll probably be in the writing class or the psychology class. Kung Fu Panda is a lot deeper than most people think. At least I think so. There are a lot of films like that. How to Train Your Dragon is a lot deeper than most people think. Yeah, I might. I don't know if it's rude to go off in the middle of the stream and get some water, but I'm starting to get a little thirsty, and this video is about 20 minutes long. Let's see how long it is. Yeah, it's oh, hold on. Yeah, it's 1930. This is The Basics of Cinematography, Filmmaking for Beginners by Cludes. Hold on. Camp Films over here. This is the channel. Before we start, I am going to go get some water, so bear with me 1 second. I'll be right back. Be right back. Sorry. This is the mic. Just going to leave it over here. Right, let me clip this back on. Sorry, if this sounds really bad. I actually am sorry. That sounds really bad. Okay. Oh yeah, got my water. It's I'm a glass half full kind of guy. Let's get the earbuds in so I can hear the video. And yeah, let's get right into it. Also, the face cam. I have made the face cam a little bit smaller just because I don't know. I didn't like when I was looking back at the streams. I didn't like how big it looks. So third time's a charm. So all right, let's get to it. Zoom in a little bit. All right, let's do it. All right, you guys ready? I'm ready. Let's do it.
On this video, we're learning the basics of cinematography, and that starts right now. Hey guys, we're back. Ryan here with Camp Film.
That should be a good
you guys
volume,
are doing fantastic today. It's a beautiful day here in North Carolina, and today we are talking about
North Carolina.
Cinematography basics. Cinematography is one of the most important aspects of the filmmaking process. Cinematography is one of the things that I try to work on the most every time I make a new film.
So cinematography is not filmmaking in and of itself. Hold on. I did not know that. I thought that cinematography was like a synonym with filmmaking. Okay, well, you learn something new every day. Every time we learn something. We're gonna write it down. Okay, so cinematography is not underline not filmmaking. It's a part of it. Man, I'm tired. Okay. Gotta hustle, gotta grind. All right, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it.
I try to improve,
WCAM
learn
films.
new things, learn new techniques. And while I'm still learning and improving on my cinematography all the time, I thought today we would take a look at the basics of cinematography.
So cinematography is just like the technicals, right? Cinematography is just like the technicals of filmmaking. Gotta be. Okay.
First off, what is cinematography?
It's everything that's not the writing. Does that make sense? I think it's just all the visual aspects of filmmaking. All right, let's go.
Cinematography basically is the art of visual storytelling. Its main pillars are camera work, lighting, composition, movement, color, and like I said, it's a fundamental aspect of filmmaking and video production. So let's take a look at every core aspect of cinematography, starting with camera work. The camera, of course, is going to be your primary tool in cinematography, and whether you're using a DSLR, your mobile phone, or a cinema camera, understanding your device and your tool is very crucial to your success as a cinematographer. One of the most important things you can learn about controlling your camera is how to manipulate the holy trinity of exposure. And that's going to be your aperture, shutter speed, and ISO settings.
Aperture, shutter speed, and ISO settings. So these are settings in the camera that you can adjust to your preference. I have learned about this stuff. This is for you. I learned a lot about this for other YouTube videos that I have privated because I thought they were bad. But yes, I have learned about this stuff because yes, okay.
Understanding the ins and outs of the camera that you're shooting with.
I do not have a camera though. I do use my iPhone. Um, you know, hustler over here.
Is one of the most basic steps that we can take to improve our cinematography. Study the documentation for your camera to learn how to best set it up for filmmaking. Watch YouTube videos dedicated to setting up your camera to get the best out of your camera when shooting films and video. One thing I do to improve consistency and ease of use is to set up custom templates on my camera for when I'm shooting films and video.
He did just say, watch YouTube videos about how to set up your camera though. I know it was like 40 seconds ago, so I'm late, but like, this is a YouTube video, like, you know what I mean? Could you show me how to set it? I don't know. Anyways.
That way.
But I'm not going to show you how to set it up, so I'm no better than him. But still, no. He seems to know more than me.
Once you find something that works and looks the best, you can easily switch to it at any time by bringing up your presets. But this is just the start as far as camera work is concerned. Learning about the different lenses we can use is also an important step. Different lenses are better for different types of shots.
Yeah, lenses is where most of your money's actually going to go. So this is the depressing part. This is something depressing about filmmaking, because I was looking at camera prices, right? It's like over $1,000 for a good film camera, right? Because you'll go online and you'll see like a good camera or a good camera that many YouTubers recommend for about $1,000, right? And it's a great camera, except it's probably a photography camera. It's probably not a videography or a cinematography camera, right? That specializes in video. A good film camera is $5,000, like a good one, right? But according to what I know, there are a few things about this that I want to say. But let me finish my first thought. A good camera is going to be $5,000. And then you have to buy lenses. And lenses is where you're really going to spend money, right? So, I don't even know how much I could check. I don't even know like how much a good lens would cost. I could check. Um, because I haven't done that much research into it. I know I'm not. I know I can make do with my iPhone right now, right? Because there's so much I want to learn about like color grading and everything. Also, by the way, I haven't uploaded anything on it yet, but I am starting a second channel called D3 Ported, right? It's like deported but with a three, and it's D3 Port. Anyway, um, I am recording a vlog for it, like right now, like for these the few days. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. I'm really sleepy. You know, these past few days, I've been recording it for 2 days, I think, and I'm gonna keep going for a few more days, and then I'm gonna edit it, put it up on there, and yeah. But that's where I kind of want to start doing my cinematography. I'm gonna edit all of those videos myself. Okay, but back to what I was saying. I think you can do most of what you want to do on an iPhone, and I think that's going to be the next step. I think that's it. Might maybe not an iPhone, maybe like a good Androids too. Because if I'm being real, I got the iPhone because because I used to have my first phone, if you really want the lore, was a flip phone with like the buttons and everything, like the numbers, and you had to click 3 times to get Z. You know what I'm talking about? Um, I had one of those, right? And then my parents got me an Android out of the kindness of their heart when we moved to America. And it was nice, but I would say I was bullied. I wasn't bullied, but everyone in my class had an iPhone. Um, and it didn't help the fact if I was born here and I got an Android, Ron's got an Android. Who cares? He's just a bit unique, right? But the fact that I was foreign and I had an Android and I was the only kid with an Android, it was like it's too much for me. Like I didn't want to be associated. Like I wanted to be somewhat normal, right? I also feel like I'm sort of representing a lot of like just foreigners as a whole, right? So, anyways, and it was like a pretty crappy Android. Well, and like I was in ninth grade. I don't need a fancy phone in ninth grade, right? Like ninth grader doesn't need a fancy phone. He needs something that can call people and play music. Come on, and it could do that. Don't get me wrong, but I have a passion for filmmaking, and I wanted to do YouTube and everything. So I made a lot of money with my friend doing pressure washing and over a summer, and I spent all the money on a brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max, right? But for like about a month before I made the decision on the iPhone 14 Pro Max, I was going back and forth between I think it was the S24 Ultra Samsung and the 14 Pro Max. The thing about the S24 Ultra is it actually seemed like a better camera. And I probably would. Oh, what's wrong with it? And I probably would have went with it, but my friends were like, I don't know. I if you're the kid with the green messages, it's just and no one else and everyone else has the blue messages, and anyways, I caved. I got the iPhone, and you know, it's I'm not saying I regret it. I'm not saying that at all because Apple's it's a fantastic interface, right? I have a MacBook now, which is what I'm streaming on, right? I'm streaming on OBS with my MacBook, and I do like the way everything syncs up. I like Keynote. I just got Apple Creator Studio. Everything works now. So I don't know if I'll ever go back. But the camera on the S24 Ultra does it looks better than the iPhone. Like everything's desaturated. I have to I have to saturate everything that I record on the iPhone. So, but yeah, that's just what I'm trying to say is I don't know how far around I'm going this. I think most people can make do with an iPhone, and I think that's the next step. I think that's where filmmaking is going. We're going to be moving towards smartphones and AI, right? It's the brutal reality, and anyone's going to be able to make very good films very soon, right? But I'm not scared about that. Yes, I am majoring in filmmaking, but that's not something that scares me because I still believe that I'm going to be the best in the world, you know? And when you're the best in the world, you kind of want more competition because that's more people just that I'm better at, that I'm better than, more people pushing me up. So, um, not trying to sound cocky, by the way. It's just I have confidence in myself and my dedication and um, my faith in God. I have a personal testimony when it comes to filmmaking. Um, and I genuinely think this is what God wants me to do. So that there's an element of that also gives me a lot of confidence in, you know, I'm going to be the best in the world. So, and when I say that, I shouldn't say the best because I don't want to be the best. I mean, I'm not. I'm not saying I don't want to be the best. Obviously, if it was handed out to me on a silver platter, um, I want to be the best that I can be, right? But man, screw it. I'm gonna be the best in the world. I'm gonna be the best in the world. Okay. Um, the only person who's gonna be better than me is maybe my friend, my Australian friend, who I want to co-host with me. But we're gonna make movies together, so it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Same difference. All right, let's keep going. I'm tweaking. I'm tweaking. I'm so sleepy.
Basic camera shots and camera angles is also an important step we can take.
Sorry. Also, I know that there's going to be less, like, I'm going to have less investment to start filmmaking and making my own films, right? Because I can shoot films on an iPhone, right? And I can edit on my software that costs $15 a month thanks to Apple Creator Studio and all these things, right? It's amazing. But yeah, yeah. Let's keep going. Like, see, we're only what? We're not even 3 minutes in. I'm tweaking. Okay, let's keep going.
And as I mentioned before, learning the holy trinity of exposure is an important step you can take to improving each shot. Learn your camera and learn how to manipulate the ISO, aperture, and shutter speeds. If you would like to learn more about the holy trinity of exposure, I have a
he has other
dedicated
videos
video
on
for
this.
each aspect here on the channel.
Okay, that's good.
I'll put a link to those in the description below. Next, let's talk about composition. Composition is basically how you arrange things in the frame. The rule of thirds, leading lines, and
I'm going to do an episode about this. I'm not sure if I'm going to do an episode about, aperture and all that, like camera settings, because I feel like that's all sort of entry level stuff that you can find a YouTube video on. I feel like this is a bit more complex when it comes to framing. So it's like this is like where you place things in the frame and what that communicates, right? So I think he's probably going to talk about the rule of thirds. He's probably going to talk about like the difference between your background and your subject. He's going to talk about lighting a little bit and coloring. I want to talk about all of that. I do think that, and camera work's obviously important, but I feel like that kind of falls into framing. And again, maybe I'll get to film school, or maybe I'll get more into my learning online about cinematography and I'll be wrong. But I feel like once you learn how to use your camera, you learn how to use your camera, right? I don't know if I'm going to talk about this that much, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll find that it's really helpful. And yeah, anyways, let's keep going.
Framing within the frame. Learning these techniques, what they mean, and how to use
like
them
I'll probably do a
is
video
going to
just about
lead
this.
your viewer's eye to the subject you
Maybe
want
a
them
few.
to be looking at within the frame. Let's take a look at some examples of good and bad composition. Camera composition is crucial in visual storytelling as it affects how the audience perceives and interprets the scene. Here are some examples of good and bad camera compositions. Let's start with the good first. The rule of thirds. Placing the subject off-center at one of the intersections of the dividing lines in a 3x3 grid. This creates a more aesthetically pleasing and balanced image. Leading lines. Using natural lines in the scene like roads, fences, or architectural elements to lead the viewer's eye towards the main subject. Depth. Creating a sense of depth by having objects in the foreground, midground,
Painters and artists use this too.
This is usually called creating depth of field, where you have an in-focused character in the foreground and an out-of-focus background, creating a sense of three-dimensional space. Symmetry and patterns. Using symmetry or repeating patterns for visually striking composition. Frame within a frame. Using elements within the scene to create a natural frame around the subject, such as a character being viewed through a doorway, focusing the viewer's attention. Now let's take a look at some examples of bad camera composition. Poor framing. Subjects are awkwardly cut off, or important elements are partially out of the frame. Lack of headroom or lead room. Too little or too much space above the subject's head, or not enough space in the direction a subject is looking or moving to. Flat compositions. Composition that lacks depth, with everything in focus and no clear distinction between foreground and background. A distracting background. Elements in the background distract from the main subject, like a busy or cluttered background that takes attention away from the subject. And an unbalanced composition. The image feels visually unbalanced, with too much weight on one side of the frame. Understanding and applying good composition techniques can significantly enhance the visual impact of your scenes, while poor composition can distract or confuse the viewer, detracting from your storytelling.
Lighting. This is also
Up next
really
is a big one, and that is
composition and lighting. Like, the more I learn, the more questions I have, when it comes to framing, composition, lighting, and color. Coloring's a bit more straightforward too, because it's like different colors make you feel different emotions, and if you memorize that, it's pretty straightforward and it's easy to, get back to that and learn more about it. But when it comes to lighting, like, if you have a light, anyways, he's probably gonna explain it better than me. I'm not gonna be able to explain everything very well. I'm sleepy. I'm tweaking. I've been up since 6. Okay. I feel like LeBron is injured, still gonna play.
Lighting. Lighting is everything. It's going to shape the mood, the atmosphere, and the realism of your scene. Since we're going...
Yeah. You can get away, you can get away with having a pretty crappy camera, as long as there's not like like a camcorder from 20 years ago. You can get away with you can get away with making a movie with a pretty average camera, as long as it's not terrible. If everything else is good, if you have good audio, good framing, good lighting, good coloring, a good script, good acting, if everything else is good, you'll get away with it. But if you have an amazing camera, if you have you can see like every pore on the actor's skin, you know what I mean? Like a really good camera. But one of the other elements is mid, your entire movie's trash. That's my personal opinion. If you have a fantastic camera but the audio is bad, or the actors are bad, or the acting is bad, or the lighting is bad, or the coloring is bad, the whole thing's bad, right? And I don't think that the video quality is necessarily less important, but I think that we usually just overemphasize video quality, and we want to look for $5,000 cameras and all of that to make our film. I should have just swiped the face cam, but we want to look for, we just overemphasize how good our camera needs to be, when in reality And this is why I'm making YouTube videos on my iPhone. When in reality, if you have a video in 8K, like cool. I'm not trying to dog on anyone who makes, fantastic looking videos. That's good. That's a good thing. But I mean, it's not going to hurt you, right? Unless, I mean, there are some movies, like some of Christopher Nolan's movies. Sometimes, successful filmmakers will use bad cameras for a specific scene or two on purpose to give it character, to give it a feel, to give it a mood, right? So maybe that's done on purpose, right? But if you have an amazing camera, some people in the audience who notice will go, "Oh wow, this is really detailed. This looks really good. This looks like really good quality, really good resolution." And then that's it. And then that's it. And everyone knows that's not what makes a good film a good film. You know what I mean? Like everyone knows that. Like that's not what people are looking for. Like they might notice it and it might be good, but it just means you have money. Like it just means there was money that went into this film. It doesn't necessarily make it a good film, right? Um, yeah, that's what I think at least. I'm not saying that obviously. Like I don't think very rarely is great quality film gonna hurt you. Like great resolution isn't gonna hurt you, but although in some cases it can. Look, how many bad movies has Netflix made? Like, let's keep it real. Netflix has made a lot of bad movies with great resolution, right? It's just, um, yeah, it's one of those things that I think, at least, it's not as important as people say. I think, yeah, I think this is all like audio is really important. I think audio is arguably more important than uh visuals, right? But anyways, let's keep going. And when I say that, I'm talking about resolution, audio quality versus video quality, right? I think that things like composition, lighting, and coloring can are like more important than audio, right? But they all come together. They all need to be good. I mean, we need to prioritize all of them. Okay, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. People just overemphasize the video resolution because there is a monetary barrier to entry when it comes to cinema cameras that like Marvel use, and huge studios use. All right, let's keep going.
Going over the basics, the 3-point lighting setup is a great place to start. Let's take a look at what it is and how we can use it in our films. A great place to start when you're first learning about lighting is the 3-point lighting setup. This technique uses 3 lights to fully illuminate a subject in a 3-dimensional space and is known for its versatility and ability to create a professional look. Here's a brief explanation of each component and how to set it up. First, we'll start with the key light.
So we got,
This is the main light in this setup.
And obviously you guys can see the illustration, but the subject's in the middle, the camera is directly in front of them. So the key light is to the side of the camera pointing at the subject.
It's usually the strongest and has the most influence on the look of the scene. It's used to highlight the form and dimensions of the subject. Place the key light to one side of the camera, about 45 degrees from it, and a bit higher than eye level. The angle can be adjusted to control the shadows and highlights, thereby creating different moods and styles.
I can already see the other light on the side of his head.
Next, we have the fill light. The fill light balances the key light by illuminating the shadows created by the key light. It's softer and less intense than the key light. Position the fill light on the opposite side of the key light at about the same angle. The fill should be less intense, so either move it further away from the subject or use a dimmer light. The goal is to soften the shadows without eliminating them completely. You can sometimes even get away with using a bounce instead of an actual light to fill in the subject on this side. And last, we have the backlight, also known as a rim light or a hair light. This light is placed behind the subject, and it helps to separate the subject from the background, adding
Surely
depth
it's not
and
caught in the
dimension
camera,
to the
though.
shot.
It could be.
Place the backlight behind the subject opposite the camera. It should be higher than the subject, pointing downward. This creates a slight rim of light around the edges of the subject, helping them stand out from the background. Be sure to experiment with the positioning and intensity of each light to achieve the desired effect. Use diffusers or bounce the light off surfaces to create softer shadows and reduce harshness.
I bet haze will work really well.
The 3-point lighting setup is adaptable.
I see haze. I see haze suggested all the time in these kinds of YouTube videos. I'm thinking about giving it a shot in a YouTube video at some point.
Modify it based on the specific requirement.
I only do vlogs right now, though. When I want to do a fight scene, I want to do a choreographed fight scene. I'm definitely gonna do an episode on fight choreography. And I want to do a choreographed fight scene with my friend, and I might get some haze for that. But yeah, let's keep going.
Of your shoot, such as the subject's features, the camera angle, and the mood you want to convey.
Movement.
Let's talk about using movement in our cinematography. How your camera moves is almost as important as what you're capturing. A pan, tilt, or dolly shot can reveal details, create tension, and
I want to do this in video too.
But remember, movement should always serve the story. Let's take a look at some different kinds of camera movement we can use in our cinematography. In cinematography, camera movement is a powerful tool to tell your story, convey emotions, and guide the audience's attention. Here are some of the most common types of camera movement to help get you started. First, we have the pan shot. In a pan shot, the camera is stationary but rotates on its axis horizontally. It moves from left to right or right to left. Panning is often used to follow a moving subject or to reveal the environment horizontally. Up next, we have the tilt.
Tilt shot up.
Similar to panning, but the camera moves vertically up or down while remaining fixed in its position. Tilting is used to reveal elements vertically, such as tall buildings or a character looking up or down. Next, we have the dolly or tracking shot. In a dolly shot, the camera physically moves towards or away from the subject, or it moves alongside the subject. This movement can create a sense of depth and is often used for following a character or moving through a physical space. Up next, we have the zoom shot. Unlike dolly shots, zooming doesn't involve moving the camera. Instead, the lens focal length is changed to make
the zoom shot is the only one I think you could do solo. This is all. The rest of it, the reason why I don't do any of these in my videos is I'm a one-man band. You know, I don't have a cameraman. Don't have a cameraman, or I don't have anyone to film. I would be the cameraman if I wanted to, if I felt like filming someone else. But the zoom shot you can do in post-production, so you can do that on your own. But that's the only one. Yo, bro, just found the stream. Aren't you guys sleeping? Llama Villagers in the chat. W Llama Villager in the chat. Alright, let's keep going. You look tired, bro. Sleep. I am so tired, actually. I am actually so... I've been up since 6. I had a 9-hour shift. I worked out. But, you know, the grind don't stop. Alright, let's keep going.
Subject appear closer or further away. Zooms can be used for dramatic effect, to focus on a specific detail, or to transition between scenes. Next, we have the crane or the jib shot.
I'm not sleeping till the video is done.
This is when the camera is mounted on a crane or jib and moves vertically and sometimes horizontally. This is used to achieve high-angle shots or to move up and down over top of objects, providing a bird's eye view. This is used to achieve high-angle shots or to move up and down over top of. Next, we have the crane or the jib shot. This is when the camera is mounted on a crane or jib and moves vertically and sometimes horizontally. This is used to achieve high-angle shots or to move up and down over top of objects, providing a bird's eye view or a sweeping shot of the environment. And we have the handheld shot. This is when the camera is held in the camera operator's hands. Handheld shots often result in shaky footage and has more of a documentary style feel, which is used to create a sense of realism or urgency. Okay. And that's not all. We still have Steadicam shots.
All my shots are handheld shots.
And there's even more.
Yeah.
But this should be enough to help get you started with your cinematography.
This is what I'm saying, like you never stop learning about this stuff.
Each of these movements can be used in various creative ways to enhance your storytelling, creating mood and engaging your audience. The choice of movement often depends on the narrative needs, the style of the film, and the director's overall vision.
Color. This is good stuff. This should be the last section.
Let's talk about the power of color in our cinematography. Color can tell the viewer how to feel without a single word. Color grading can enhance your narrative, but it all starts with good white balance and exposure. Let's go over some color grading basics to get us off to a good start. Before we talk about color, we need to understand white balance. White balance is a fundamental concept in photography and videography that affects the color accuracy of your images. It's about adjusting colors so that they appear more natural, compensating for the color temperature or different light sources. Here's a breakdown of the basics. Color temperature is measured in Kelvin. It refers to the warmth or coolness of a light source. Lower temperatures around 1000 to...
I think I do this. This is what I do in my YouTube videos, is color correction, right? Making my videos look more realistic. Getting rid of the desaturation mostly from the iPhone, right? But when he's going to get into color grading, you're going to emphasize certain colors to like give a particular mood that you want the audience to feel. I think
3000 are warmer, yellowish or orange, like candlelight. Higher temperatures above 5000 K are cool, blue, like a cloudy sky. Different light sources like sunlight, fluorescent lights, tungsten bulbs, and LED lights all have different color temperatures that you need to account for. The reason it's important is that without correct white balance, photos can have an unrealistic color cast, too blue or too orange, making them look unnatural. Ensuring color consistency across different shots is especially important in professional settings like product photography or filmmaking. When you go to set your white balance, most cameras have an auto white balance setting where the camera automatically adjusts the white balance. Good for general use, but may not always be completely accurate.
Yeah, it's better just
You can also try to use presets with your white balance. Most cameras typically offer presets for different lighting conditions like cloudy days, daylight, indoor lighting, fluorescent lighting, etc. These presets are based on average color temperatures for those light sources. You can also set your custom white balance. For precise control, you can set the white balance manually. This is done by photographing a white or neutral gray card under the lighting you'll be using and setting the image as the reference for your white balance. And some cameras also have a Kelvin mode. Some advanced cameras allow you to set the color temperature directly in Kelvin, giving you full control over your white balance. Be sure to test and adjust, and always test your white balance settings and adjust as needed, especially in mixed lighting conditions. You can also shoot in RAW. If you're unsure, shooting in RAW allows you to adjust white balance during post-processing without quality loss. For critical work, you can use a gray card to set a custom white balance for accurate color reproduction. Be aware of changing light conditions, especially when shooting outdoors. Understanding and correctly setting white balance is crucial for producing images that accurately reflect the scene's colors, enhancing the overall quality and professionalism of your work. Now that we know the importance of white balance and how to set it up on our cameras, now it's time to delve into color. Color in cinematography is a powerful storytelling tool, influencing mood, atmosphere, and even the audience's emotional response. Understanding the basics of color involves several.
We all know this. Yellow makes you happy. Red makes you angry. Or it makes you like feel that's what you're supposed to be seeing, right? Red and orange, angry. Yellow, happy. Blue, sad. Green, peaceful, right? different combinations make you feel different things.
Key aspects. First, let's talk about color theory.
Yeah, that's what
Hue,
color theory
saturation,
is.
and brightness.
Oh, never mind.
Hue refers to
Okay,
the color.
this is what I do for my videos. I change the hue, saturation, and brightness for each color. I adjust it.
Itself, red, blue, green, etc. Saturation is the intensity or purity of the color.
Yeah.
And brightness, or the value, refers to how light or dark the color is. Complementary colors opposites each other on the color wheel create contrast.
A quick trick to make any video look cinematic, though. Your video, yeah, this is real. The reason why he's showing the orange and the teal trash can is it's called the orange and teal trick. You want to, when you're editing the colors in your video, you want to maximize the potency, I should say, not pungency, the potency of the orange and the teals, as much as possible. Obviously, don't make it ugly, but do it as much as possible to where it's subtle, and then it'll look cinematic. It'll look really good. I wish there's probably a better way to say it, but really good is all I've got right now. That's why I need an intelligent co-host.
And vibrancy. Colors that are next to each other on the color wheel offer harmony and are pleasing to the eye. Different colors evoke different emotions. For example, blue can feel calm and serene, while red can signify passion or danger. Let's talk about color temperature. As mentioned earlier, color temperature in film affects the mood and atmosphere. Warmer tones, a lower Kelvin, often convey warmth and comfort, while cooler tones, higher Kelvin, can feel sterile or distant.
Comfort.
Now let's talk about color grading and correction. Color correction is adjusting colors to ensure they are realistic and consistent across all of your shots. This step is essential for maintaining continuity. Color grading, on the other hand, is the creative process of
making it what you want to look like.
And enhancing the color of a motion picture.
Yeah,
it's used to create a visual tone and mood.
Yeah, tone. Yeah,
Here are a few color schemes that we can use in our cinematography. Monochromatic, which uses variations in lightness and saturation of a single color. This can create a very focused and cohesive look.
Yeah.
Complementary, which utilizes colors opposite of each other on the color wheel. It's great for creating contrast and highlighting elements.
Yeah.
And analogous,
I do a lot
which
of
involves colors that are next to each other on the color wheel.
Yeah.
This scheme is often found in nature.
I should be more intentional about this in my videos.
To the eye. Here are some ways that we can use color to help tell our story. It can be used in character development. Colors can reflect a character's journey or changes in mood and personality.
It's true.
It can create symbolism. Certain colors can symbolize different themes or ideas, like green for envy or growth. And colors can help set the scene.
Disgust.
Color palettes can help establish the setting and the time period in your film. Here are some practical applications for using color in your films and cinematography. Lighting. Gels and filters can be used on lights to add color to a scene. They can be used in your production.
I don't know if you guys have seen Bloodhounds, the Korean drama. It's like the only fandom that I've actually become a fan of since I turned 14 basically. And this is basically this is basically what the entire show looks like. It's just red and blue. It's like really deep red, really deep blue. It looks great though. I love it. I like season 1 a lot more. Season 2 was a bit of a letdown, especially because we waited freaking 3 years for it, and it was all about just some random villain who was just so boring and everything. Anyways, let's just keep going. I'm sleepy, and I don't want to hate on my own favorite show, but season 2 of Bloodhounds was really disappointing. Anyways.
Set design and props are chosen for their color to contribute to the overall.
I will do a writing episode about why it was so bad. The cinematography in it was decent. That's not my issue. My issue is the writing and all that. Anyways, let's get going.
Palette of your scenes. And color can be used in post-production. Digital tools
Also,
allow for
sort of the
precise
fight choreography.
control over the colors in the final product. Maintaining a consistent color palette throughout the film helps in creating a cohesive visual style. This consistency is key in making the film visually compelling and narratively coherent. To summarize, color in cinematography is not just about making the film look good, it's an essential element of visual storytelling. It requires a thoughtful approach, from pre-production planning to post-production finishing, to effectively convey the story's emotional and thematic undertones.
Practice. Yeah, fair enough. We all need to do a bit more of this.
Now that we know the basics of cinematography, it's time to put all of these things into action and practice our craft. 3 simple ways that you can practice your cinematography are with still life, portraits, and action scenes. Photography is a great place to start. Try different compositions, lighting setups, and movement.
Photography will... Photography annoys me, man. Photography annoys me. And I'll tell you why. I have a friend. It's a Trinidadian girl in my class. She might actually come across the string. I don't know if she will, or across this clip if I make this into a video. But she might come across this, and I might have to explain myself because she is the only Trinidadian girl I know. But she was in my class when I moved to Mississippi, and as 2 of the only 3 brown kids in the freaking town, we did meet, and yeah, she's pretty cool. She's pretty chill. She understands like Indian culture. I grew up in Nepal, which not Indian, but Desi. She sort of understands the culture of Southeast Asia, and well, not South Asia. And I love a lot of Indian friends. Trinidadian, West Indian. Yeah. So she's into photography. She's very good photographer. I know a few other photographers too. The priest in our town of the Episcopal Church, the Episcopalian Church, is a photographer. So I know a good amount of photographers in my town. And if you get a good camera, like and again, they might have had sleepless nights working on some of these pictures. I don't know. Maybe, and they just didn't tell anyone. Maybe they're just better than me in every way. But I skipped the whole photography stage. I just got straight into videography and YouTube, and I made so many bad videos. Oh my gosh, especially because all I got is my iPhone, and I've learned to make the most of what I can with it, right? To make the content look good, sound good, all of that. But I look on this girl's Instagram, 10 out of 10 photos, and it's like, yeah, if people look at her media, look at my media, it's going to look a lot better. But photography is just easy. It's easy to learn. It's easy to get good at. Like there's not, I don't know. And it just feels like cinematography, videography, video, it's just like so many layers, and you never stop learning and all that. But photography it's one click. Obviously you can get beautiful pictures, but I don't know. I got a bit of beef with photography, which I think is sort of a thing. I think it's sort of a thing between at least with the videographers. I feel like we sort of feel like we're better than the photographers because the blood, sweat, and tears. It's just different, right? It's just different. Like you're not gonna work like in photography. You're not gonna work 8 hours on a piece of photography and it be bad and it be terrible. I have worked on videos that for days, I kid you not, days. And when I hit upload, I feel really good about it. I promote it on my Instagram. I promote it on my Facebook. I promote it on my TikTok. And then I'll wait a month or two. I go back and look at it, and it's trash. Absolute dookie. Just because of how much I've learned in that time. And I'm like, wow, I really did that terribly. One example of this is a boxer that I interviewed in Hattiesburg, or sorry, I don't need to dox myself, but yeah, near where I live. And I don't want to dox him either. And I interviewed him. It was a great interview. I asked him great questions. He still has the interview. I think it's still up on his socials. It's not up on mine anymore, I don't think. But great questions. Like every time I asked him a question, he was like, "Oh, that's a great question." Like no one's ever asked him that. Even in like personal conversations, no one's ever asked him that. I asked him a question like, I saw he got a knockout on his Instagram. I was like, "What does it feel to knock someone unconscious?" Right? He was like, "That's a phenomenal question. Thank you." Right? So I felt really good about it. Then I went back and looked at it, and I put this ridiculous filter on the entire video for some reason. And I was like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? And I uploaded it in 4K. It was like, I recorded it in 4K, right? But I was like, why didn't I just color correct it? But I didn't know how, so I just put a filter on it, and it looked terrible. It looked so bad. So bad. The audio wasn't the best either, but I was just using these wireless mics. I was just making do with what I had, but I could have made it so much better. I could have made it so much better, but I didn't because I didn't know. Didn't know. But it is what it is, man. Anyways, that's why I got beef with photography. And it took me so. Well, the interview was like an hour long. I spent days editing that crap. I spent like a whole day writing the questions. I drove over there. It's a long drive. I drove there, interviewed him, drove back. That took my entire day. And then I spent another few days editing it, and it was just so mid. Anyway, it was so bad, actually. I hope, but like the thing is like I think the guy still likes me. We're still on good terms, right? So I could message him and do another one, right? I do want to get him when I do a fitness episode, which I do have a few planned. I do want to get him on and like talk to him because obviously boxing and fitness go very closely, and I don't have boxing experience in the sense that I've been in the ring and actually had a fight, but I have trained a lot. I had the bag ever so often, but I'm no professional. But I'd love to have him on Deported Archives for sure. All right, let's keep going.
One
Almost
of the
done with
most
the video.
useful ways I've found in improving my cinematography and getting some good practice is to watch some of my favorite films and try to recreate scenes from those films. You'll
That's
be
W
surprised at
advice.
what a little trial and error can help you accomplish.
I should do this more.
Cinematography is a journey that we are all on as filmmakers, and we've all just
Yo, would it be sick? Yo, would it be sick if I started uploading recreated film scenes that I like? I think that would be cool. Then again, like that's not gonna pull views, obviously, but it could be fun. Yeah, it'd be a fun project. Maybe a few fight scenes, a few things to practice my acting, my directing. Let's keep going.
taken the first step. Remember that every great cinematographer started with the basics that you learned here today. So grab your camera, start shooting, and most importantly, have fun. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We have some new merch in the store, so if you're interested in that kind of stuff, go.
Hey, personal advice: don't buy his merch. Nothing personal against him. Um, well, I don't know. Buy what you want to buy. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to get in beef. He seems really smart. Yeah, W video, great video, really informative. Yeah, he said every filmmaker started where you're starting, and it's true. Christopher Nolan didn't even go to film school. greatest director of all time. Never went to film school. And I want to make films like Christopher Nolan. I like that style, you know? Not a lot of CGI, more gritty, more real, more raw. I like that. I like that. I like what's his name? I wish my friend was on here. He'd know their name. James Gunn and all of them. You know, just Zack Snyder, the like superhero, the Marvel directors and everything. Like they're good, but when you have too much special stuff, too much expensive special effects, it just seems too fake for me. I don't know, but I am looking forward for that Spider-Man movie though. I am looking forward to it, unapologetically. Um, Top 3 superheroes of all time: Batman, Spider-Man, Iron Man. Not debatable. Not debatable. Not debatable at all. Captain America's cool too. I could understand if you replaced one of them with Captain America, but if you were like a really patriotic dude. Um, but those are top 3 superheroes of all time. I will probably do an episode on that. That'll be writing or psychology. I can't wait to do writing. I'm gonna do that next probably. The video is just half an hour long. I always pick the longest videos. But anyway, hope you all have a blessed day. I'm about to call it. About to call a stream. Hope you guys all had a blessed day. Peace, man. I'm so tired. I'm at the hay. Yeah. How do I oh yeah, stop stream. Love you all. Thank you for your time. Go to church tomorrow. Now, I am going to church tomorrow, but you should go to church tomorrow. Okay? You should. God bless you. Have a good night.